Hi doctor, I'm Liu Kuli. Today I'm going to do presentations for my assignment. The assignment code is Hmec 5424, Educational Research Method in Early Childhood. And my research title is Explorations of Teaching Critical Thinking Skill to Young Children. First of all, I would like to introduce what is critical thinking skill. Critical thinking skill is a psychological procedure of assessing the data, especially proclamations of suggestions that somebody offered. And the capacity to think critically is a critical thinking skill that is considered as a culture in Malaysia today. And the educational system need to alter educational plan so that can guarantee that the children are built up with strong establishment in critical thinking skill. So problem statement for this research is that critical thinking systems are not reliably in Malaysia preschool, and the children are not pretended to think keenly and fundamentally. They will not be able to contend in a cutting edge and a worldwide economy that they are going to involve in the futures. And the importance of the preschool teachers to furnish the children with 21st century skill, which critical thinking skill is one of the skill. So the preschool teachers is playing a very important role in building up the young children since small to have this kind of skill. So the research objective is to build up the young children who know how to think critical thinking skill, not only during the lesson time but also in their daily life. And the second one will be to develop children in making good decisions, to understand the consequences of the action. The following objective is to support the expose of teaching critical thinking skill in young children. Other than that, the objective is also to promote young children's interest by expanding their knowledge and bring opportunities to them and encouraging them to voice out so that they can have their own critical thinking skill, giving their own opinion, making their own decisions, something like that. Other than that, also to identify the difference in between children with or without critical thinking skill. You will see that the children with critical thinking skill is very different, even though in their character will be very, very different. Now let's move on to literature review. Literature review is about the fundamental part of critical thinking skill development. Skill should start in preschool. Means to say that the young children, they are sent to school, and that is the place they should start to expose with this critical thinking skill. And preschool is the place that will include students in which or junior or community oriented work, and this can assume that method of building 21st century skill also should start in preschool. And also the importance of critical thinking skill in building a children. You can see the children will be very, very different. And the next one will be methodology. The methodology that I'm going to use in the research is to conduct a research on critical thinking strategies in the English classroom. This is actually to test the hypothesis that a clear education for adopting a critical thinking strategy adopt the children's thinking, whether the children's thinking involve critical thinking skill or without involving this critical thinking skill. Children they will have to read a simple novel, and one section of the children was clearly taught that the critical thinking strategy to use with the 4 reading sections, and the other sections will ask them to search the novel independently, which no guidance will be given. We'll just ask the children to have their own way to search for the novel. And students with clear critical thinking skill training will be expected to show more insightful thinking and understanding about the novel. And they will do the presentations about the novel, and also how is the children's their own thinking of that novel. And the methodology, the section is divided into topic selections and descriptions, instruments, data collections, data analysis, and study limitations. In this study, 4 to 5 teachers will be selected as a respondent of the study to conduct the research. And the population and sample size for this research is that there are actually a lot of teachers in the preschool will be considered as the populations of the study, but we only will select 4 to 5 teachers to conduct the study, so that to evaluate the critical thinking of the children for the age of 5 to 6 years old. And these 4 to 5 teachers will be considered as a sample size of the study. For the research questions, there are a few to be considered. The first one will be how to build young children who know how to use critical thinking skill in their daily life. And the second one will be what to develop children in making good decisions, understand the consequences of their action. And the third one will be how to support and expose of teaching critical thinking skill in young children. And the fourth one will be how to promote young children interest by expanding their knowledge and bring opportunities while encouraging young children in doing something like the activities that teacher proposed to them. Yeah, so that's all for my presentations. And for further, I will just work up and I will share during end of my completions of my research. That's all for today. Thank you.